That was a video that I took back in 1996 with my two sons. My mother took that video at a place where I used to work called Sunset Park out here. I was 270 pounds on that video. Now, for a man who's only 5'9", 270 pounds is absolutely a no-no. Absolutely. I mean, that's a recipe for heart disease, which runs through my family. It's a recipe for diabetes, a whole lot of different areas, even including in-time knee replacements. And so I bring that up is because one day I went into the restroom to take a shower, and we had this huge mirror. It's like a mirror where you can stand in front of it and you can see your whole self in it. And when I removed my clothes, you know how before you step into the shower, you just casually look back at the mirror. For a second, I thought someone else was in the restroom with me. And then, I looked back and I did like this, because I thought for like a fifth of a second, someone was in the restroom. And then I looked back again and realized that I was looking at myself. And I stood in front of the mirror. Now, for a man who's been a martial artist from 7 years old and a boxer from the age of 14 all the way up to the current, even back in 1996, I saw somebody I didn't recognize. And it was because it was the person that I was with who stressed me out so much with disrespect. You couldn't do anything right. Everything you did was wrong. Everything you said was wrong. She was sleeping around with people at her job. She was sleeping around with so-called family friends. I mean, it was just too much going on. Sleeping on the couch. It had gotten to the point to where I came to realize all of this was going on before my sons. See, now at that time, when I came to that perception that all of this is going on before my sons, I was in the hope mode. I hope this will eventually end. Now, hoping that something will eventually end, that implies you're not doing anything to stop it. And why is it that you are not doing anything to stop it, and you're left with hoping that it stops? Is because you don't have enough love for yourself to stand up for yourself and just end it. So when I looked in the mirror at a 270 pounds David, I broke down and I cried right there in that restroom. And I said to myself, she's killing me. She's killing me. She's killing me. And then we eventually broke up. Now, I bring all of that up is because I want everyone to understand, and a lot of you already understand. No one on this planet is enabled to love you more than you love yourself. And sometimes to come to that conclusion, one has to suffer immensely. You have to suffer immensely. So we broke up because I decided that it was best for myself. Now, the problem is with a lot of people when they break up with someone in whom they are still very deeply in love with. Because I had 2 children by this woman, and we were together for 8.5 years. And you know how people say, as time goes on, people grow apart. I wasn't one of those type of men. When I love someone, it's 100%. And as the years go, my love increases. It's just that when you're with the wrong person, in spite if you have children by them, it's going to have a profound demonic effect on you. It is. And the reason why I say demonic effect is because you're going to stop caring about yourself. Hold on, let me back up. You're going to stop caring about yourself. You're not going to start eating right. You're going to not eat right. You're going to see your organism swell up. And simply because you're under a relationship and an environment that is profoundly abusive, verbal abuse, some little physical abuse, unprovoked. You're bad mouth to everyone and you're not doing anything. You never can do enough when you're only doing what is best simply because of the economic limitations that were set before you. And so once it gets to the point to where this person not only disrespect you, but starts disrespecting your mother is a bitch and all of that, you know what? Yeah, I believe it's time to move on. I mean, all of these different reasons come to you. And so you sit back, you lay down one night, and you say to yourself within your mind, what type of person would be the type of person to where you would totally be in love with them? You write this list down in your mind. She would have to be respectable. She would have to be compassionate. She would have to be respectable, passionate, loving, gentle, feminine, caring, that whole list. And then what you need to do is put the person's name to the side. And then you honestly ask yourself, within this whole list, can I connect this person's name to that? And if you cannot connect their name to your list, then it means you really don't love this person. And once you come to the conclusion that this person is nothing of what that list consists of, then who has the real problem? Is it that this person just doesn't love and respect you? No, the fact is you don't love and respect you. And that's critical, because if you remain in a hostile relationship and it's affecting you in such a destructive manner, then intelligence is going to eventually have to come in and tell you, look, you need to go. Now, in spite, if that is your family, what good are you there? If you are allowing all of this to go down in front of your son, what are you doing there? Is that helping you? Is that helping them? No, it's not. Because your children don't need a father who does not love himself in order to put his foot down or even put his foot in somebody's ass because he's trying to get his house in order or keep his house in order? What type of example are you going to be to your sons if you allow their mother to just kick you around and lie on you in their presence, and they're picking up all of this false information in their heads about you, of course, while you're gone? What are you going to do? You have to do the ultimate sacrifice, and you have to love yourself enough to get out of that environment so that you can find yourself again. Underneath all of that 270 pounds, underneath all of that hurt and humiliation, you must find yourself again. And when you find yourself again, then you have to grow to love oneself again, but on a whole different level. It's like Yeshua says, you must be born again. And so when I got out of that situation and I went through a 3.5 years of hurting, continued abuse of my sons being held back from me for absolutely no reason, and I wasn't the one that was causing the conflict. 8.5 years, I didn't mess around at all. I went back and forth to work, and I did the best that I could in regards to the limitations of this economic system out here in Las Vegas. I did the best that I could, and it didn't work. And so I had got to the point to where I came to understand, if I don't love myself, no one else will. You know, it's easy to say, God loves you, Jesus loves, that stuff doesn't mean anything to me. That means absolutely nothing to me. As I said before, if you do not love yourself and act upon that, you might as well be dead, or just stay there and just rot, because that's nothing but an environment that is equivalent to a prison cell in prison, if not isolation itself, or solitude, or whatever they call it. But you have to love yourself.